Drones over America. When most Americans think of surveillance drones, it conjures up an image of a predator drone in a far-off land unleashing a missile against a terrorist suspect. The last thing they think of is a flying surveillance vehicle over their own city. But an increasing number of federal, state, and county and municipal police departments are purchasing drone surveillance vehicles of one sort or another to watch Americans. And a few have even discussed arming the drones. Drones are an increasing fixture on the science fiction horizon, conjuring up images of the human-hating Skynet empowered with nuclear weapons in the Terminator movies. Interestingly, some industry leaders have already theorized about nuclear-powered drones. For example, Lockheed Martin's Sandia National Laboratories carefully suggested in a study that they pursue nuclear-powered drones. As the Canadian-based Ottawa Citizen summarized, the project summary, which refers to propulsion and power technologies that go well beyond existing hydrocarbon technologies, does not actually use the word nuclear, but with unmistakable references to safeguards, decommissioning and disposal, and those unfavorable political conditions, there is little doubt about the topic under discussion. Interestingly, as the cost of drones has decreased from tens of millions of dollars to tens of thousands, more and more police departments are making the purchase. And FAA regulations are the key inhibitor to their proliferation at this time, instead of the limits in the U.S. Constitution. Drones are already a multi-billion-dollar industry, and a professional association of manufacturers has emerged, which is pressuring the FAA to loosen up domestic drone flight restrictions. A report by the American Civil Liberties Union noted that at the federal level, several agencies are known to have used drones against Americans. The FBI and the Drug Enforcement Administration have used drones inside the United States. Customs and Border Protection Agency currently operates 7 Predator B drones and hopes to expand the number to 24 by the year 2016. The Los Angeles Times reported in December 2011, the Customs and Border Protection Agency has been making its Predator drones available for domestic law enforcement operations by local police departments. The ACLU report also noted that a number of local police also use drones to spy on U.S. citizens, including the Miami-Dade County Police Department, which has purchased an end-table-sized drone for about $40,000. Mesa County, Colorado, which won FAA permission to operate its Dragonflyer drones anywhere in the county. Texas is also a hotspot for drone use, and not just near the Mexican border. Drones are used by the Texas Department of Public Safety, Montgomery County, and the cities of Houston and Arlington. But it's not just Texas. Drones are also used by Seattle, Ogden, Utah, Hawaii, National Guard units in New York, and around the country. Of the lot, the drones in the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office are probably the most controversial because of the model they purchased. The police department's Shadowhawk unmanned helicopter was made by Vanguard Defense Industries, and the department has discussed weaponizing the drone. Drones over America will eventually be armed, possibly at first with non-lethal weapons such as tear gas, tasers, sound cannons, an EMP pulse weapon to stop a car. The list is only limited by the designer's imagination. The Montgomery County, Texas Sheriff's Office recently purchased that Shadowhawk helicopter from Vanguard Industries, and CEO Michael Boucher admitted his company's drones are designed to carry weapons for local law enforcement. Quote, "The aircraft has the capability to have a number of different systems on board. Mostly, for law enforcement, we focus on what we call less lethal systems," close quote. Busher told this to a local Houston television station and mentioned that these systems included tasers and a beanbag gun known as a stun baton. The use of armed drones, not yet a reality, but inevitable without strong legislation prohibiting it, always comes with promises by law enforcement not to abuse the tools. The Montgomery County Sheriff, Tommy Gage, told his local TV station, quote, "We're not going to use it to be invading someone's privacy. It'll be used for situations we have with criminals," close quote. But that's really the problem. Police suspects are not criminals under the law. Police arrest innocent people every day, not because they intend to or because they're corrupt, but because they make mistakes. And that's why our legal system insists that just because police say you're guilty, you are innocent until you're proven guilty before a jury of your peers. Despite having the best legal system in the world, a few innocent people are occasionally even convicted and sent to prison by juries. It's for this reason the American constitutional system contains serious restraints on police searches, where police are supposed to get search requests approved by a judge in advance. The Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution requires that search warrants describe what police are looking for and where they're going to find it, that they have probable cause that it will be there, not reasonable suspicion. And search warrants have to be certified with a signed oath. Someone has to put his or her name and reputation on the line before a fellow citizen's property can be searched. Drones are amoral. They are neither moral nor immoral. They are neither good nor bad. They're a tool. Like any technology, they are good or bad dependent upon how they are used. Just like some liberals demonize guns as bad tools that lead to crime, some constitutionalists fear drones as a sign of a police state, or the coming of a dystopian movie such as The Terminator. That may happen, but it may not. The ACLU report recommends that, quote, government use of UAVs equipped with technology that dramatically improves human vision or captures something humans cannot see, such as thermal X-rays, should be scrutinized especially closely by the courts. That's relative. But it also suggests that UAV surveillance is, quote, limited by the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and that's more specific, suggesting that the Fourth Amendment requires a warrant, probable cause, and specificity for searches involving reasonable expectations of privacy. Those guidelines would be an important preventative measure to prevent most abuses. Clearly, as has been the case in the wars of Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya, fewer American servicemen have died as a result of drone attacks than had ground forces been used instead. But policymakers have also been quicker to pull the trigger on strikes without any immediate domestic political consequences. Part of the consequences of more drones operated by policemen may mean more deaths and crashes. Indeed, crashes have happened more often with drones than regular aircraft. The ACLU noted UAVs experience an accident rate over 7 times higher than general aviation and 353 times higher than commercial aviation. And a number of domestic UAV accidents have been reported in recent years. In 2006, for example, again quoting the ACLU report, a Predator B drone operated by the Customs and Border Protection crashed along the U.S.-Mexican border. In 2009, North Little Rock's unmanned helicopter crashed due to a software failure. In 2010, a Mexican drone crashed into the backyard of an El Paso home. The same dangerous logic of higher acceptable civilian deaths is possible in domestic use of drones as well. It's possible that the growth of drones will increase under the guise of police officer safety. Sending in a drone is safer to police officers than sending in a uniformed officer who could be shot. But it's the same problem as the military. Drones don't think for themselves, and people making a life and death call from an air-conditioned office are more likely to use violence than an officer on the scene. The issue is one of priorities. Which is more important? Officer safety or the safety of the public? In the end, the servant cannot be greater than the master. The very purpose of the police is to protect and serve the public. It is a contradiction of the very purpose of police to put officer safety as a higher priority than the public that they are designed to protect. The question in the drone controversy is whether the citizen is the servant or the master of the police. Traditionally in America, police were the servants and the citizens the masters. But that could change with the proliferation of drones. For Liberty News Network, I'm Tom Eddlem.